DxO PureRaw and the Nik Collection are great pieces of software in their own right, but will they combine and happily work together to create an alternative workflow that works for me? Let's find out. To make the combination of PureRaw and Nik Collection work, I needed an asset manager, which I didn't originally have, so I settled on DigiCam, free open source software, which by all accounts is pretty good. Now in the DigiCam window, scrolling down to this image, and click and hover, and there are the file attributes. Right click and go to Open With, and there's a list of apps on my computer which will open this particular file type. I'm going with DxO PureRaw. Starting with no adjustments, I have a preset there for that. So there's before and after and no change. I'll progressively turn the lens correction options on, starting with lens sharpness optimization, and I'll set that to the standard setting. Vignetting. Take a look at the bottom right hand corner of this image. Click the vignetting correction on. Oh, it comes up nice and bright. Turn on chromatic aberration, and now let's look at lens distortion. It looks pretty bad, but fortunately DxO's lens correction modules will sort that out quite easily, but I need to get rid of the black bows top, bottom, left and right, and that can be done by using the cropping options. The only cropping option in DxO PureRaw, you can either crop to the original aspect ratio or crop to the maximum rectangle available. I'm going to stick with the original aspect ratio. So you can see the before and after there. Dust removal, just leave that on as a matter of course. Into the output module. Now because I'm going to export this into Nik Color Efex, I can't use DNG. Nik only accepts TIFF or JPEG. I'm going to go with TIFF 16-bit. And I'm going to turn DxO Smart Lighting on. Make no changes down in the lower part of the panel because it's set to export the image back to the original image location. In the drop-down menu of Export To, we're going to Color Efex, version 9. Process now. Give it a little bit of thinking and processing time. And now I'm in Nik Color Efex 9. I'm not going to do any changes here other than run through some of the presets just to show you what is available. And any of these presets can be used as a starting point, so any other minor tweaks can be made to arrive at the desired output. I'm going to settle on that. Now just notice down in the bottom right hand corner there's a Save Preset button. I'll come back to that if I remember. Now File, Save, Save As, or Export As. I'm going to use Save As, and remember it's going back to the location of the original image. Save. That was me practicing before, so I can overwrite that. And from my point of view, this is where it gets a little bit messy, and I'll explain why later. We have to go up to the menu there and quit Nik Color Efex. Go back into DigiCam. It should be there, but it's not, as I said, getting a bit messy. DigiCam has to be refreshed before the finished image appears there. I've chosen this next image because the horizon isn't level. So right click, open with, head into DxO PureRaw, process with preview. I'm not going to change anything in the lens correction module there. Right, into the output module. And again, going to process it in Nik Color Efex. So here we go. Now, this is where the system isn't going to work for me, because there's nowhere in the Nik Collection that you can correct that level horizon. And if I drag a rectangle there, you can see it's a long way off. Also, there is nowhere in the Nik Collection that you can crop an image to suit your desired outcome. So let's get out of there. I won't save it, but I'm going to go back and process that image again, except this time I'm going to send it into On1 Effects 2025, against my better judgment I might add, because I'm not fond of On1. It's too slow and buggy. However, it does get the job done. Up on the left hand side here, select the cropping module, then select the level, drop the level on the horizon, and it's leveled up and cropped. Click the done button up the top, the done button down the bottom, and it will now save back to the location of the original image. Save. We can overwrite that safely. And again, this is where the messy aspect comes in. We have to click to close out of that. Oops, wrong click. Click to close out of that. And our corrected image is still not appearing in Digicam. Click to refresh. Now if I had to do that every time, that would drive me nuts. There's our before image, and there's our after image. Now my normal workflow, Photolab into Nik, and from Nik back to Photolab. Just watch how quick and easy it is compared with the previous method. Double click on the image to process. I'm not going to adjust anything in the lighting or colour sections, but in details I will turn on the lens sharpness optimization and also chromatic aberration. And in the distortion section, just click on horizon, it automatically levels it. Click on crop, if it's automatic, it automatically crops it. Change it to manual, select the crop tool, crop it, position it, hit close, turn on lens distortion, and that part of the process is done. Into the Nik Collection, check settings, make sure it's set to TIFF and 16-bit. No changes there. OK. Into Nik Color Efex. The whole process is much quicker. So there's our leveled and cropped image. Now just make a note of the fact that down in the bottom right there's the apply button below the save preset button. Think back, that wasn't there in the combination of DxO and Nik Color Efex. So the moment you hit the apply button, it processes the image and drops it straight back into Photolab there. That's after, and that's before. So much quicker, so much easier, no messing around. So is the Digicam PureRaw Nik combination a viable alternative to my current workflow? No, it's too messy. Can't level horizons, no cropping function, and there are probably other features I haven't even considered at this point, so I'm going to stick with DxO Photolab into Nik, back out of Nik into Photolab. Thanks for joining me and watching. I hope you found it interesting. Catch you next time. Bye.